and sort of automate that whole lead gen perspective.
All right, Billy, to answer your question,
exactly I want to serve.
All right,
I've got a lot of experience
Instagram,
working with clients and getting
YouTube,
clients
Facebook,
results,
YouTube, and Clubhouse.
All
right, I'm gonna be answering your questions. If you have any questions right now,
if I want to
let me know.
And niche down
no topic
helping consultants and coaches and people like that get online. Then I've got to find how to do that.
Yeah, you just need to become very clear on your offer. Once you understand exactly what result you can deliver to your clients and what is it that they're looking for and what type of time frame you can deliver in, you really have to systemize this stuff. Like I see a lot of people, and I was guilty of it for the early years until I did systemize my entire business. Once you have that funnel in place, then everything it becomes like a machine. Like you can just totally remove yourself out of the process, whether it's you are selling via sales page or videos or via webinar. You can just totally eradicate yourself out of the equation, and that's the goal of business. You don't want to be stuck in, like I've done that client work one-to-one in the past, and I totally know how it was, and where I end up making all my millions was when I systemized my whole entire business. And I say to everybody, hey, the number one thing you need is a funnel, and once your funnel is in place, it is basically your machine, and you just oil it, you tweak it. And obviously when it comes to attracting the right type of client, there's always these 4 things that I go by. It's like you got to look at the person, whether they can, do they acknowledge what you're selling? Can they benefit from your offer or your service? Can they afford it? And can they apply it? If those 4 things kind of fall into sequence, then that's the right person who's going to give you the money. And you should be able to, if you have the system or the funnel in place, then you'll be able to consistently get those people coming through the door without you ever having to worry about how am I going to make money again. You know, one of the things I love about making or building and having a system or funnel in place is I never have to worry about money. Like I can predictably make as much money as I want purely because the funnel is in place. And obviously once you understand your customer, who you're really going after, like Shaqir was mentioning as well, then it's just a numbers game. You know, like there's a lot of different methods you can do: organic outreach, paid marketing. I started with paid marketing, and I think that's probably the way to go to really push. But hope that kind of helps answering your question.
Yeah, man, yeah, that does. I really appreciate it. I guess, you know, doing all this sort of stuff for clients, and you're 100% right. You know, my time is how much I can put into it. It's capped by how many hours I've got on the day to work on a client project. So I want to get out of that game. So I've got to pivot and find who I'm serving and why I'm serving, and then automate it for sure.
I think don't sometimes think too much on stuff. Like I love to say to people, hey, just look at the areas where you really feel you can make an impact in, or where you have had the most results in the past, and go and bring up a funnel, go put an offer together as quick as possible and test it. Like the one thing that I learned a long time ago is anybody that really wants to make a lot of money is money loves speed. So the guys that go and put the stuff into
money loves speed
action very quickly.
Love it. Make sure you guys remember that. Money loves speed. I've been teaching that for many years now. The faster you can take action, the faster you're going to get results.
Just a little while ago, before I just got back into my residence, I was just having a conversation with a friend of mine. I was like, look, we're at the beginning of the year. What I recommend you do, and this also goes to everyone of you listening, not many people here, but that is double your failure rate. You know, increase your failure rate so you can get to the result that you want to get to. You can get to base 1, 2, 3, whatever it is, as quick as possible, because those are the people that end up getting up the ladder and just establishing, huge results. But this is the mindset thing. Most of this stuff is really about having the right mindset and how quickly you really want to work. And I've known Shaqir for like 10 years. So it's like we met through the same entire industry, and we'd bounce back different ideas all the time. And we started to see, hey, what is it that really makes people tick? And why do some people win dramatically? Then there's others that are still 4 or 5 years later, you still see they haven't done nothing great, but they're still chiming into this industry. I feel like we have a blank canvas right ahead of us. And if you do the right thing and you're very clear with your goals, hey, you can go and have the best year of your life right ahead of you,
Yeah, 100%. So I got another question from Billy. Billy says, how would you increase your webinar attendance? So, guys, when it comes to increasing webinar attendance, how I look at any of these things, right? You're asking a very tactical thing. What you want to do first and foremost is you want to zoom out. Okay, when you're zoomed in, you're going to focus on every single little thing. When you zoom out, you can see the bigger picture. So I always zoom out for every single problem, challenge that I face in my business. And what I do is I simplify it with, hey, let me break this down in 3 to 4 steps, maximum 5 things. So for example, if it's a webinar campaign, I'll start off with traffic source. Then I'll go to the start of the funnel, right? We're talking about funnels. How do you get $10,000, $100,000 clients? That's what we're talking about here, right? So the first stage is the traffic. Second stage is the webinar, the landing page, the registration page. Third stage is the actual webinar. Fourth stage is, the booking your call or the application page or the confirmation page. And the fifth one, which is like my favorite one, which is the email follow-up. So now that we've identified 5 steps, right? Do not, it's very hard for you to get overwhelmed if you focus on just 5 steps, right? People too many times, they complicate it. And when you complicate things, you overwhelm yourself, right? This stuff is, trust me, I meet so many smart, good-hearted people, very educated sometimes not educated, but education in this case doesn't really matter that much. But they overcomplicate everything. It's like when you sell a property, right? Like when you get into the property business, you buy low so you can make money. You take a bad house, you make it look good, then you sell it, and whatever is in the middle, it's profit. See how I just summarized property investing in 4 steps. Your focus, your goal should be to summarize every single thing into as minimum steps as you can. So for example, Billy's asking, how would you increase your webinar attendance? I'd first start off with traffic. The traffic, that's where the people are coming from. What sort of traffic are you using? Are you using solo ads, Facebook, email, Google, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram? Are you using Clubhouse for traffic? Because not all traffic is created equal. So first focus on that. Second, what are you promising on the landing page? For example, if you go to funnels.com, I have an automated webinar there that's always playing non-stop. It's a very short webinar, teaches people about funnels and all of that. And guess what? When you opt in, I realized some people, they don't like watching videos. So guess what I did? I included a free playbook. I included a free longer video after they book a call. So I let them book a phone call. I give them a free book, and I give them stuff that's going to help them logically, right? So the first webinar that they watch, there's a lot of, it goes straight to the point. And that's like me appealing logically. And what you have to understand is anytime you're trying to sell something and you're not making sales, is usually because you haven't hit the emotional, psychological chords of a human being. So for example, I use a 3-step framework, and it's called gain, logic, fear. And anytime I create a presentation, a webinar, a sales presentation, a VSL, an email copy, social media post, I always think to myself, what can I do to help them gain something? And then the second thing is, how can I help them break it down so I have a logical system in place? And then the last one is, okay, how can I inject some scarcity and exclusivity and urgency so that the fear brain kicks in, right? So that's how I would increase webinar attendance. If you're looking for nitty-gritty tactical things, I'd say more emails, double down on emails. If you have to send 5 or 10 emails, send 5 or 10 emails just to remind someone to show up. Secondly, one of the biggest flaws people don't use is that they don't use enough text messaging. I would tell you this right now, I've spent a lot of money on webinars, on paid traffic, over $10 million of my own cash just on traffic, building my business and teams and stuff. And text messaging is by far one of the lowest hanging fruit. In my business, we use, I have a team that uses WhatsApp, text messaging, I have my own text messaging platform that we send out text from. So hopefully that helps, Billy. All right, next question. Who's got the next question? Tim, what's good? If you have a question, request to be a speaker, or just type it in. Let's go. Who's got the next question? Rayan?
Hey, Shaqir, do you hear me?
Hey, we can hear you, man. How's it going?
I'm doing great. Okay, so my question is, when we are actually getting started with a new business with a little amount of money, how should we actually plan the business?
Okay, so you're asking for a business plan in one go. All right, I like
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
A brother from Bangladesh. Okay.
yeah. I'm from Bangladesh. Yeah.
All right, I'm from Bangladesh as well.
Oh, seriously, I didn't know that. I have been following you on Facebook and Instagram, but I didn't know you're from Bangladesh. I'm from Dhaka actually. I
Bye,
live
Ami
in Dhaka.
Bengali. Okay, so enough. Um,
Yeah.
so what I'm going to share with you is I'll just give you a quick little breakdown. When I'm starting and coming up with an offer, right? Remember, it's all about simplifying, especially when you're starting off, right? And right now we're at the start of 2021. The number one thing you need to do is reduce and eliminate distractions and focus on simplifying. So let's get straight to it. Here's what I would do, and I'd recommend that you do something similar. I would find out what is the product that you're selling, come up with a one sentence summary, okay? And then what I would do is I would ask myself, where are these clients already hanging out? Okay, where are these clients? Where is my dream client? Are they on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Clubhouse? And then what I would do is I would focus in on just one traffic channel for at least 30 to 90 days. I'd focus on one traffic channel for 30 to 90 days. And what I would say is I would go and find the people that are already buying whatever you're selling. So let me go deep into your offers. What are you selling right now, Rayan?
I am providing VAs, virtual assistants, to business owners
Okay.
or to entrepreneurs.
I love it. Virtual assistants to business owners. Okay. I'm always hiring virtual assistants. By the way, if you have some really good ones and trained, hit me up. I'm hiring. Okay. There you go. I'm your first potential prospect.
Sure, sure.
Okay. Now you want to ask yourself, would you like to do business with someone like me, Rayan? And if you say no, that's okay too.
Yeah, I would love to do that.
Okay, so now here's what you would do, right? You would find out, why would you love to do business with someone like me? What are 5 or 10 or 20 characteristics? What is it about me that you like, that you think I would be a great client of yours, right? So you want to identify what makes a great client. Does that make sense? So for me, I realized, because I sell $10,000, $100,000, $200,000 packages, right? And normal, and no offense to young people listening to this, but normally 25-year-old, 30-year-olds, they don't have this sort of money, right? So guess what I do? I don't focus on that, right? I focus on where the money is, who's the ideal client, where do they live, what do they read, how do they behave, what do they want. So I know someone who's a premium level client, what kind of watch they wear. I know exactly what goes on in their mind at most of the time. Why? Because they're my dream clients. And what I do is I'm always thinking about, what are they going through? What are challenges that they're going through? I literally think about my, prospects so much, like throughout the whole day. I'm asking myself, like, what are they going through? What are their frustrations and their fears and their dreams and their aspirations? Why do they want to achieve what they want to achieve? And when you start thinking like this, what will happen is you're going to have a very deep understanding of your ideal prospect. And I know who my ideal prospect is so clearly. So when I'm creating offers, when I'm selling my stuff, I can go bang, bang, one, one, one. Like, just like how I'm sharing with you here. You don't hear no ums and ers, right? Because I'm very focused on knowing how to solve these problems for business owners. So your question of, how do I get more VAs? No, how do I scale my VA business? I just shared with you. You identify who is that one dream client, and then you ask yourself, what are the characteristics? You break that thing down, and then you ask yourself, where are these people hanging out? So for me, where do you think I'm hanging out? I'm on Facebook, I'm on Google, I'm on YouTube. Okay, I've got my own podcast. I've done like 150 episodes. I've interviewed like multi-millionaires, some billionaire entrepreneurs, whatnot. So if you wanted to tap into me, where am I hanging out? That's where you need to put your focus and energy. So sometimes I see people, they'll start focusing on creating content, YouTube and LinkedIn, and they're trying to be an influencer on Instagram and all of this. But what you have to do is you have to put your focus into just one platform. And if you do that, this is what my mentors taught me 10 years ago. They said that the average person that does any sort of internet marketing they can't even focus for 30 to 90 days. And I was like, what? Like, that's crazy. And I realized I couldn't even focus back then. So they basically gave me a challenge and they said, focus on one traffic source for at least 30 days. Because if you can do that, right, every single day, just chip away 1 to 2, 3 hours, 4 hours a day, and just master one. And before that, what I was doing, I was trying so many different traffic sources. I was trying to do Facebook, I was trying to do press releases, I tried making YouTube videos, posting content on social media. It was a nightmare. And then when I discovered something called solo ads, where I could buy other people's traffic, I could tap into other people's list, boom, the game was over. I had my first win that created a little bit of momentum. I made around, I think I made like $5,000 ish. And then that 5K turned into like 72K. That 72K turned into 100K. 100K turned into $1 million, then 10 million and 20 million and beyond. And so my advice for you would be go and double down on one type of client. If you, and then when you find that type of client, for example, if you found me, right, because I just told you, hey, I need some VAs, and that's fine. Now you got to do a splendid job, because guess what will happen? I will have friends. Does that make sense, Ryan? I will have, I will have friends. I'll have business owners. I'll have clients. I'll have relationships that if you do a splendid job, I'm going to be able to say, yo, Rayan, go to this guy for VA help. And now I can spread the word, so you don't have to spend any money on traffic. You could literally leverage me, just one person, to get you more business. So if you just did nothing but just that, you could go and get your first 5 or 10 clients in the next 30 days. Hopefully that helps. All right, we're going to refresh the room. If you have questions, type into the chat box. If you have questions, request to be a speaker and I'll bring you on live. Who's next? Let's go. Right. Make sure you're following the mods over here. We are talking how to use funnels to attract $10,000, $100,000 clients, especially using funnels. As the CEO of funnels.com, I have a very different insight, because I can see hundreds of thousands of clients and customers and what's working and what's not working. And so I'm here just to serve you guys. All right, what's the best way to get high ticket appointments? Okay, that's what Nikhil is asking. You know, the best way to get high ticket clients is to come up with a simple webinar. The webinar must outline 3 to 5 pain points of your chosen market. And what you want to do is you want to identify 3 to 5 pain points, fears, frustrations that your client is going through. So if I was selling, let's just say, you know, what are you selling? Give me an example. I'll break down your business. So for example, if I was selling e-commerce, right? Like one of my businesses, we teach people how to, we basically build them e-commerce done for you stores. And one of the reasons we do that is because we believe e-commerce is one of the hottest business models, and it's easy to get to an extra 5 or 10, 20K a month, right? Sometimes what happens is people want to start internet marketing, but they're so overwhelmed with everything. And we have a done for you option, kind of like a done for you funnels, but it's for done for you e-commerce, right? And so we basically do the research, we get the product, we build out every single thing for someone to start making 5 to 10K a month in 30 days or less. And so what we do is we created a webinar to attract the right appointments. And I'm not talking about a 2-3 hour webinar, which I love those. I'm talking about a simple little presentation, 20 to 30 minutes, that just tells them straight, hey, listen, are you struggling to make money online? Yes. Are you overwhelmed with 101 ways? Yes. All right, how would you like my team and I to create a done for you e-commerce store that potentially gets you 5 to 10K a month in the first 30 days without doing Facebook ads and without sourcing products? Those are the big 2 pain points. See what I just did there? I asked a couple of questions to get their interest, to get their attention. I'm building desire by telling them, hey, I've got this opportunity for you. It's a new opportunity. And now I'm going to give them value so that the trust gets built. And what I'm going to share with them is that it's very hard for newbies to go and source proven products. Then it's very hard for them to put it all together. And then once they even put it together, they struggle to get traffic. Well, guess what? You don't have to, with this method that we call e-com automatic, you don't have to do Facebook ads, YouTube ads, LinkedIn ads. You don't have to be an influencer. You don't have to post on social media. All you have to do is use a proven formula that we've developed with influencers that already have 100,000, a million followers on Instagram. And what we do is we tap into influencer traffic to get us leads, to get us customers, whether we're selling digital products or e-commerce, physical trinkets, jewelry, blenders, whatever. We can get customers through Instagram influencers. And we leverage a system that's proven to generate more than $500,000 a month. And we give them the formula. So watch what I just did, right? Hopefully this is making sense to you. You're asking me what's the best way to get appointments, aka what's the best way to sell a high ticket product, a low ticket product, doesn't matter. The point is this: we're identifying the pain points the market has, right? We're identifying what do people go through. They don't want to do it themselves. They don't have confidence in themselves. They've tried it in the past and they've failed, and they're scared, embarrassed, shamed that their friends and family, their loved ones are going to think differently of them. So they're very scared of taking that next decision. So they've tried courses, they've tried masterminds. So now we create a new opportunity. And the new opportunity is, hey, forget learning for the next 6 months. Just take our done for you business Kickstarter in a box. Boom. Hey, if you'd like to learn more, book a phone call today. Does that make sense? And this is the same formula that I've used to generate more than 7,000 booked calls, generate more than $30 million in sales before the age of 30, won 3 ClickFunnels 8-figure awards, all because of this formula. So this stuff that I'm sharing truly works. Nikhil, hopefully that answered your question. Okay, who's got the next question? Fire away. Let's go.
Shaq, thanks so much for having me here. I wanted to ask a specific question. I know the room is called How to Use Funnels to Get 10K, 100K Clients. When somebody is first starting out, say somebody who's in the audience might be thinking like, what the heck is a funnel? A funnel is something that obviously it's how you take a customer from being a cold audience and you bring them into the funnel and you bring them into this series. Would you say that somebody can charge right away 10K, or should there be more lower priced options to first start out?
Yeah, so I always say start with high ticket, because look, here's what happens when you, and this is human psychology across the board. If I said to you, hey, go and sell something for $500, do you know how hard it is to go and sell something for $500? Go try it. Well, anyway, let's just say you sell something for $500 and woohoo, you got your first 1 customer, you got your first 5 customers. That's only $2,500 a month. If you live in where I live in London, $2,500 a month ain't gonna even cover your rent, right? So just think of it like that. Versus, I'm telling you, I'm sharing with you, if you use the right funnel, you can go and get 1, 2, 5, 10 clients a month that pay you, say, 10 grand a month. So 10 grand upfront, or they pay you 5K. Let's just say you only got 1 client to pay you 10K. And I'm talking about there's 2 billion people on Facebook. From 2 billion people, there's something like 4 million businesses that are advertising on Facebook. Trust me, every single client that you could ever dream of, they're already there. It's not a matter of, do people have money? Can I do? You have enough experience. Most people, I'm saying at least 80% of the people, if you have the experience, you have the knowledge inside of your head that most people have no idea. So you can position yourself, your offer, as to help even just 1 person, okay? And you could literally say, I work with 1 client every single month, okay? And it's $10,000 for 1 client. And you could take that 1 client and help them get results. And you could do that for 3 months. And you could get yourself $30,000 cash. Let me tell you what happens when you have $30,000 extra cash, even when you're a newbie, right? It gives you peace of mind. It relieves the stress that you need to go and chase for new clients. You can take care of your clients. When clients pay us $10,000, $50,000, $100,000, I make sure that they're super looked after, because I'd rather have 10 clients that pay me $50,000 than 500 clients that are going to pay me low ticket pricing. So in the beginning, it's a mental thing. And you might be thinking, oh my gosh, like how am I going to charge this much money? It's really because you haven't developed the art of positioning yourself, the art of packaging your offer, and the art of promoting yourself, right? So I gave you a quick tactical thing that you can do to promote yourself, which is develop one solid webinar. Okay, like every single week, every single actually day, I ask myself this one question, what's my $10,000 per hour activity? And I actually do something which is really weird, but I'm just going to tell you this weird mental millionaire hack that I've been doing for many years, if that's okay with you. Okay, I actually keep money right in front of me. Okay, so this is, I actually have it in my hands right now, which is about $10,000 cash. There's a couple of different currencies, but it's still around 10 grand, 10,000 pounds or $10,000, whatever. And it reminds me I keep it in front of me very, very, very closely, because it reminds me, hey, focus on the $10,000 per hour activity. And guess what that is? That's working on a webinar. That's working on one system that if I get it right, it's going to produce exponential results, because that thing is going to sell for me. So I don't have to be there wasting my time, energy. I can have that machine selling for me. Does that make sense? So if if you're at that stage where you're like, oh my gosh, like, I'm trying to make some sales. I haven't made, I'm not making 5 or 10 grand a month. Look, it's just a simple math equation, right? Forget everything that you know. If I asked you, you need to go make 10 grand this month. What's easier? Get 2 customers to pay you 5 grand, or get 100 customers to pay you $100? The answer is A. It's much easier to get 2 clients to pay you 5 grand or 10 grand each. Why, how, where? Let's talk about it. Why is it easier? Because you want to appeal to a business owner, and you want to give confidence to a business owner that you can perform. The reason why most people aren't making money online, okay, and I've surveyed thousands of people. I generated over 1 million subscribers, so I have a next level, very deep understanding. And I say this very humbly and very respectfully, because I understand what the general market goes through, okay, what goes through people's head. The 95% of people, they don't even make $10,000 a month, okay? And again, like, let me break it down. It's where is their focus? They're on 5 different social platforms. They don't have an offer that converts. They're trying to do too many things. So what's the solution? The solution is you do less. You take on less clients, right? Think about this. If you wanted to make $10,000 a month and you just got 2 clients to pay you 5 grand each, now you got yourself 10 grand. Guess what you now do? You take some of that money and you put that money into ads. You put that money into hiring a VA. You put that money into savings. Save away 10, 20, 30% of all the money that you're making. Why? Because that will give you a level of peace of mind, right? That will give you, too many people are trying to be famous. I'm like, go and make some money. Too many people are trying to change the world. I'm like, change your world, right? Go and make 50 grand, 100 grand, stash that away. Go make 250 grand, stash that away, and then see how you can sleep well at night. Then try to change, the world. Then try to go on these big missions. I have one of my mentors said to me, hey, you don't need to focus on a mission and your value system. Just focus on helping people. Get yourself $1 million, put that $1 million away, and then focus on helping people, right? It's funny, right? Because so many times we say, oh, we want to help people. But the truth is, if we can't help ourselves, do we really have a right to go and help others? We're trying to go and change people's lives. But if you don't know how to market, how to price, how to productize your knowledge, your expertise, if you don't know how to build a basic funnel or even hire someone that can build the funnels for you, and you're trying to go out there and, there's so many of these movements, which I'm all for, giving money and giving charity and all of this. But I'm telling you, as someone who you want to learn from, I'm telling you, first take care of yourself. You're the most important person. Figure out how to go and get some high ticket sales. Put some money away. Get yourself in a place where you're not operating from scarcity. Because the last thing that you want to do is spend months and months of your life trying to get a $50 customer, a $500 customer. Ask me how I know, because I was in that situation, guys. I was a morbidly obese kid from East London, grew up in a council flat with 30. And I'm not saying this as a sob story. I'm just telling you, this was my mindset. I was so scared to charge. And what happened was I was spending months and months building this WordPress website on a website that I thought was going to change the game, called cakedecorationhelp.com. And don't ask me why. I thought this is what I need to do. I need to sell a $20 ebook called Cake Baking Recipes or something. It was crazy. After about 3 to 4 months of trying to move all my, how to get the right font in place, how to do HTML and WordPress and all of this, I realized this is the most craziest thing ever. And then I built one funnel, okay, one simple funnel. This is why I'm so passionate about funnels. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased because I own funnels.com, where we help people with their funnels and getting their message and their products out there. But for me, I had one basic funnel that I was running, and at the time, Twitter was really hot. And I remember a guy, his name was Sarip bin Ahmed. He was from Malaysia, and he clicked on my link, went through my funnel, and he purchased a $2,000 product. And this was when I was around 21 years old. For me, that changed the game. I think I was the most happiest when I made that first one sale, because it gave me proof. It gave me real legitimate understanding. Wow, you can make high ticket sales. This guy has never met me. The next guy was a farmer his name was Colin from New Zealand. He came in and he purchased a $20,000 package. Now I'm 21 years old. I have no idea what I'm doing. But when I see a $20,000 check come through, back then I think they used to do checks. When I see that $20,000 landed cleared in my bank account, I was like, whoa, this truly works. And I compare myself to the first year when I was struggling. I was trying to do 101 things. My focus was everywhere. Then I dialed in high ticket marketing. And I'm telling you now, ladies and gentlemen, it's been more than 10 plus years I've been in this industry. I wouldn't change it for the world. I love what I do so much. I love high ticket marketing, high ticket products, because I just know, when someone pays, they pay attention. So hopefully that was helpful. Whew. All right, next question. Who's next? Hey, Sabrina. Hey, Sarah, Veronica, Corey, Hillary, Ismail. What's good? Who's got a next question?
Shaq, I love this group so much because it's kind of technical, but also there's a science and an art when it comes to funnels, and it's kind of a combination. And we could all agree that you've nailed both of those concepts. I guess my question to leave the room, of course, of anybody here, we see a lot of people out there with little party hats, which means that you're brand new to Clubhouse. So congratulations to being here. So you have the opportunity to come ahead and speak on the platform, raise your hand. If you have a question or a contribution, you're always welcome to come. That's the beauty of this app. And the conversation is in terms of funnels. So if you've read this title, it means you know a little bit about funnels, and Shaq here is the expert. So I wanted to ask Shaq, when it comes to the art and science of a funnel, I guess my question would be, what percentage of it is the art and what percentage of it is the science?
Yeah, so I'll tell you the big mistake, and we got people chiming in from all over. So I'll tell you the big mistake people make is that they think just having the funnel is what's going to make them money. But the real truth is you need to have something called a big idea. And what is a big idea? A big idea is something that gets people to say, wow, right? Have you ever gone to one of those simple little landing pages, opt-in funnels, and you read a headline and the guy or the girl is making this outlandish, crazy claim? Well, what they're really doing is they're presenting their big idea to you. Why? Because the big idea is what sits psychologically, right? So if someone goes to my offers, I tell them, hey, here's how to 10x your income practically overnight by adding this one simple thing, right? Now that's a big idea. That's like, what? I don't believe you, but you know what? You got my attention. I'm curious. Let me try you out. Let me check you out. That curiosity gets them to opt in. Does that make sense? And so, the art is easy, right? The science, the psychology behind the funnel, understanding a big idea, understanding storytelling, understanding copywriting, understanding influence and psychology. 99% of people, they don't get this, right? This is why I say go and study the psychology of marketing, right? And I was very fortunate. I've spent more than $550,000, which is a huge ton of money, by the way, over the last decade, hiring mentors, coaches, consultants, masterminds, all of that. This year alone, I'm going to join 3 different masterminds run by 9-figure entrepreneurs. But when I was starting off and I didn't have a lot of money, what I did was I went and learned from a guy called Dan Kennedy. Okay, and he's got books that are, $10, $20. I recommend everyone go and learn from Dan Kennedy. You can buy these books on Amazon, get the Dan Kennedy books. Till now, even on my desk, I've got a book that says No BS Marketing to the Affluent by Dan Kennedy. I read his books. Why? Because he will teach you the psychology. And this is the stuff that, people are missing in today's day and age. So hopefully that helps, Marilyn. I got another question here, because I'm also taking questions for anyone that's DMing me on Instagram, on Facebook, on my Facebook group, on YouTube. All right, so Healthy Mike, great name, Healthy Mike. Okay, great. Healthy Mike says, should I give away something for free on my site before selling? Absolutely. Why? Because you want to get the KLT factor in place. Grab a pen and paper and write this down. One of the reasons why people don't respect your funnels, your offers, why they don't buy from you, is because you aren't giving them something of free value that appeals, that's the word, that appeals to their pain points. That's what you want to do, okay? You want to give away something that appeals to their pain points. So for example, in one of my funnels, we just added in this one hook, and I'm going to share the hook with you because trust me, I've this has taken me a long time to figure out. And watch this. It basically says how to 10x your income without you personally picking up the phone. Okay, and what we realized is when I'm teaching coaches, consultants, experts, authors, people that have the money, they want a done for you solution, they're ready to spend 10, 20, 30, $50,000 with me. What they don't want to do is they don't want to spend months learning how to build funnels. What they don't want to do is be a closer on the phone, right? They just don't want to do that. They are usually coaches and consultants are very heart-centered entrepreneurs. They're very feely people. Not that there's, I'm not saying anything wrong with that. I'm just telling you how that is. They just want to serve people, right? They want to help people not get divorced. They want to help people get out of divorce. They want to help people with aligning their heart. They want to help, guys and girls become financially free or lose weight or find the love of their life, whatever the case is. It's very heart-centered, right? And so what happens is it's a clash, it's a personality clash to turn that same person into a rock star closer or a phone salesperson. Does that make sense? And what you want to do is you want to always identify what is your strength, what is your weakness. So for me, that's very important. I always look for what's a big idea that I can incorporate. And for Healthy Mike that's asking me this question, should I give away something for free? Yes, give something away that appeals to their pain points. Okay, you've asked me like so many different questions, so I'm just going to quickly answer them. Okay, next one.
Check. Before the questions, I would love to see what anybody in the audience has to think about, like what's their perspective of a funnel? What do you guys think about when you go into a funnel? I mean, we have 3 other people on stage right now who I'm sure have something to contribute or have a great valuable question, and I would love to hear
sounds good.
One of the other speakers
Let's
say
do
something.
It. All right, Ismail, what's your question?
Hi, Shaq. I wanted to ask, basically, we've got around 5,000 to 6,000 customers come through our funnel in the last 2-3 months. We're following like an e-commerce sort of model. I wanted to know what, like, obviously it's been like a one-night stand sort of thing where we've got these customers in and we haven't really re-engaged them. What would be the best way to sort of like build out a community and obviously have these people make the most out of these customers?
Great question. First of all, stay away from one-night stands. Secondly, Ray, are you there? Ray is a entrepreneur in the e-com space. He's sold millions and millions of dollars worth of stuff. Ray, are you there? Let me see if Ray is there. Okay, Ray, why don't you answer that question?
Could you just repeat that? You said you had about 5,000-6,000 customers come in the last 3 months. And what was the last part?
So what would be the best way to obviously remarket them, help them become like your brand ambassadors, get as much UGC as possible, obviously get them to just purchase?
That's what it depends on the type of products that you are selling. Depends on the market that you're going after. Everything, when you are aligning a funnel, you'll start to look at some numbers such as lifetime value of a customer. Some people come in and they purchase products. Let's just take cosmetics, for an example. A person that may go and shop in Sephora will end up spending X amount per month over a period of a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. So it also comes down to your product catalog. How many products do you actually have, and are these products complementing the existing product that somebody purchased? Let's take another example. If you were selling to, let's just say, the pets industry, somebody that goes and buys stuff for their cats. People love their animals, and they'll end up buying more and more things over time, whether it's pet treats or whether it's stuff for, I have a cat. I'm just giving an example. So you have to kind of look at the journey. You could even take an example of somebody selling guitars. If you sold a guitar and there's a new person that's just come in who's irrationally passionate about music and just personally bought a guitar, there's going to be a whole bunch of things that this person will end up likely to purchase. You might go and download or purchase, speakers, or they might go and buy some lessons, or might go and get a mentor on board because they really want to learn that guitar. So you have a bunch of upsells and cross-sells that you can go and position into the whole funnel. So you'll have a series of upsell 1, upsell 2, downsell 1, downsell 2 to maximize your order value and average order value. But also when you are taking a look at down the line and you want these customers to keep on coming back, the ambassadors, that's obviously a totally different strategy. You can turn your customers into ambassadors if they are avid users of the product. Depends what you are selling, right? And that's a different strategy to have them there to continue help build your brand. If you are building a brand, you really have to be looking at, what is your brand? What's your mission? What do you really stand for? What's your story behind it all? And there's a lot of psychological elements that you got to put into play and realize where do you fit into the market and why do you exist. Once you understand all of that stuff, then you'll attract these influencers, or you are referencing ambassadors. These people come on board, and if they really align with your vision and see where your company is going and what you really stand for, then they will be there to support you, and they will be able to help grow your business, and they will allow you to help promoting your products. Always remember, there's only 3 ways to grow a business. Get more customers, the first one. Second one is increase the unit of sale to those customers, and the third one is market more frequently to the customers. So you would also need to have a strategy where you are actively selling more frequently to these customers over time. That doesn't make a difference whatever business you are in. Sometimes you might think, hey, I want to make more money, and if you have a business that's already generating customers, and if you can get consistent customers coming to your business, let's just say if you can turn cold traffic and get these people to come into your webpage and give you money, and you can do that predictably, then therefore that's one strategy that you can double down on. And if somebody wants to ask, how do you go and make $100,000 out of that? It's just really just adding more volume. But you also have to take a look at the customer lifetime journey and see, hey, why are they interacting with your brand? Where are you going with it? And what is your strategy in terms of remarketing, or if you're going to be using an email sequence, or I can go on and on about this stuff, but those are just some of the things that I'd highlight to have those people come into your brand.
Yeah. You know what, Ismail, let me add a few things, because I'm actually in a mastermind right now with a guy called Josh Snow. And he runs a 9-figure company called Snow. Try Snow. It's a teeth whitening company. I'm sure you've heard of it. So I'm in a private mastermind with him, and they have a mastermind. I think it's like 25 or 35K to join. And in it, they basically, talk about e-commerce and how to scale and stuff. And I'll just share with you one of the key things that I've learned, which is, one, you want to make sure that you are always optimizing your immediate average customer value. So as soon as someone comes in to buy, that first customer, you want to always optimize, what is the upsell, the downsell, so that the AOV, the average order value, is very, very optimal, right? So that you're not just breaking even, but you're super profitable just on the get-go. That's one. Number two, what they have talked about, and I have learned a lot from them, is that you want to add retargeting. So if you, not retargeting, you want to add, retargeting is one, but more effective is recurring. One of the reasons, like you said, if I asked you this question now, you've processed 6,000 customers, great, but do you have anyone on recurring?
No.
So that's like big, you know, big no, right? Because now you're having to start off every single month with a new customer. You're having to start off every single month with zero. And you know, one of the easiest things you can do is, say for example, you're selling a $50 or $100 product. You could literally launch a one-click upsell using Ezra Firestone's software, which is Zipify. The upsell, he's got an upsell software. You can figure it out if you go to his site. And what you can do is you can charge people $5 or $10 a month and literally stick everyone in just a free Facebook group. Okay, so for example, if you're selling some sort of, I don't know, makeup kit or lash kit or weight loss thing, or you know, whatever the product and product that you're selling, you can just add in association, and you could just create a Facebook group, right? I know someone who's in the survival niche, right? And his name is Perry Belcher, and what he says is they literally created something called the survival association industry or something like that, right? And all it is just a little membership site, and they got thousands and thousands of members paying them a tiny little $19.95. But you multiply thousands of members, and they get, I think, 3,000 customers a day, and you know, a certain percentage of people will want to get ongoing support. And so, you know, keep that in mind. How can you add a recurring? In my own business, when someone comes in and they buy one of our coaching programs, a mastermind, you know, we stick them on a $297 per month software, right? Because we tell them, hey, you should use our funnel software. It's the best in the marketplace. It's much faster than anything else. And we install your first 3 funnels, so you don't have to do any of the tech stuff. So ask yourself, how can you do that, right? And then I'll give you a really advanced tip. And this is, you know, the stuff that I share with my private mastermind members is not just add one recurring, but how could you add 2 recurring products, right? How could you go from like just having one recurring option, maybe just a Facebook group, to maybe something else where you can offer, you know, a bundled package. You can, and not just a bundled package once, but a bundled package every month. So for example, in my business, what happens is when clients come through and we get their offer up, we get their webinar up, and they're so excited and they're starting to make money in the first 30 days, then they realize, oh my gosh, organic traffic takes so much time. How do I get paid traffic? So then we have an option where it's $3,500 or $5,000 a month, or even $7,500 a month, where we'll do all of their Facebook ads for them, right? So that's another recurring income stream that I have. So now a client that's come in, you know, for $50 through my sales funnels challenge, now they can spend 10, 20, 50, 60K and beyond. Does that make sense? And when you do that, when you can afford to spend more money than your competitors, now you have an unlimited ad budget. And that's the ultimate secret. That's the holy grail, right? Those of you who are just chiming in right now, welcome in. Make sure you guys connect with me on Clubhouse, on Instagram, whatever. Send me a DM if you need any help with funnels. I got Ray here. He's an e-commerce expert. We talked about for the last 1 hour about how to scale with funnels. And those of you guys who have just joined now, I'm going to tell you the ultimate secret, the holy grail. Okay, you guys ready for this? Who's ready for this? Give me a buzz if you're ready for it. Let me know. All right, flash your mics. All right, text me, let me know. All right, the ultimate secret is this, guys, is you have to build a machine, aka you have to build funnels that you can go and spend more money to send a customer than anyone else in the marketplace. Okay, if you can do that, I guarantee you're gonna win. This is how you go from 0 to 7 figures. This is how you go from 1 million to 10, $20 million and beyond. And everyone looks at you like you're a genius, right? 10 years ago, I literally discovered this secret by attending a mastermind where it was a $10,000 per person mastermind. I was this young punk kid, and I remember meeting these millionaires, and they basically talked to me and they shared with me this concept of CPA, customer cost per acquisition, right? Cost per acquisition. What is my CPA? Anytime I'm launching a funnel, like right now, you guys can actually see a new $1 million funnel that I'm building, and it's easily going to do minimum $1 to $3 million On the low end, $1 million. On the high end, I'm aiming for $3 million, probably in the next 30 to 60 days. And all it is a $50 challenge, right? It's a $50 product that I'm going to sell on the front end. Obviously, I've got back end products where my profits are going to come through. But if you go to salesfunnelschallenge.com, it's literally a $50 offer, and you're going to be able to see how I've structured that whole thing. And I already know I'm willing to spend $150, even $200 to potentially get one customer through that door. Why? Because I know my lifetime value on the back end. All right, we're going to do one more question. Someone texts me saying, how is Mark Ford in real life? So Mark Ford is a gentleman that I interviewed on my YouTube channel. His company last year did about $1.8 billion, which is over $100 million a month, just FYI. Okay, it's about $150 million a month. And they sell digital newsletters and all of that. So someone asked me, how is Mark Ford? He's very humble. He's very funny. He's super smart. And when you meet super smart people, the secret to you being smart is you ask them a question about themselves and you just let them talk. And then when they answer the question, you ask why, you ask how, and you make sure that you don't talk just about business, but you ask about family, about lifestyle, about mistakes. You just let them talk. When I'm around people like Mark Ford, that's exactly what I do. All right.
Jax,
next question.
You're around a very smart person right up in here. For anyone who's in the room, of course, I want you to be able to raise your hand and utilize your opportunity to come up and ask a question and to speak. But I'm going to keep asking questions. And the question that I have for you, Shaq, what would be one of the dumbest mistake you made in funnels, and what did you learn from that?
I made way too many dumb mistakes to even count, but I'm going to share with you the mistake that even now, sometimes I make it. I don't make it as much, but I'm telling you right now what the mistake is. And I'll just give you a real life example, right? So I have a friend, a guy called Mike Dillard, and Mike just posted on his Facebook saying that he just got, he made a post and now they're not allowing him to make a post on his Facebook. He's not being allowed to make a Facebook group. Like, can you imagine if you spend 5-10 years of your life on Facebook, and now they're not going to let you post stuff for whatever reason. I think he must have made a political post about Trump or whatever. I don't know, but he has, right? And he basically just says, hey, I deleted the Facebook app from my phone yesterday, and I woke up today in FB jail. For some reason, I'm no longer allowed to post or basically create FB events or groups. The only groups I have is for my mastermind members. Now, I want to share something with you. Imagine if you wake up one day and you realize the social media website that you're spending weeks, months, sometimes years of your life, you post pictures of your loved ones, you go and have a fancy dinner and you're excited to go and post this, right? And then boom, they just tell you, no, you're not allowed to post anymore. How are you going to feel? Well, there's a solution, and that solution is you need to have your own funnel that lets you build your list. Okay, what does that mean? Is you need to have a funnel that people can come in, they can give you the name and email address, and now you can collect the names and email addresses of those people. So, you're listening? So that you can follow up with them. Okay, this is something that my mentors taught me many, many years ago, is you don't have a business. Okay, you being on Facebook and Clubhouse and Instagram and social media is not you having a business. You having an email list is the business, right? That's your distribution channel, right? Starbucks, you can arguably say Starbucks actually doesn't make the best coffee in the world, right? Neither does McDonald's. They don't make the best food in the world. But why are they so successful? It's because they have distribution. They have the ability to distribute their coffee more than anyone else. So let me ask you a question, and this goes for everyone listening, whether you're listening on Clubhouse, on Facebook, on YouTube, wherever you're listening, right? What is your distribution channel? Because that's in the form of getting subscribers. That's in the form, every single day you need to ask yourself, how many customers and subscribers are you generating? So hopefully that answers that question. Guys, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take on literally one more question, and then we are gonna wrap it up. Who's got the next question? One last question. Who's got it? Let me know.
I do.
Hey, Joe, how's it
What's your
going?
best? What was your best, most successful funnel ever?
You asking the right questions, Joe, my man. All right. So it's cool because this is the last question, and I'm gonna share this with you guys. And this funnel, okay, all praise to God. This funnel has generated me more than $12 million cash collected. Okay, and what this funnel was is I identified a big pain in the marketplace, and I went after one specific group of clients. Okay, just one specific group of clients. I went really, really deep. I found out the pain, the problem, where they're hanging out, how much money they have, how much money they're spending, who they're spending it with. I got really dialed in, and I launched a webinar. Okay, and I'm not going to say that this was all planned. It was actually an accidental webinar. And I used to have this young kid called Jamie who used to work with me. He had basically modeled and somewhat funnel hacked someone else, which I only found out recently. But he had funnel hacked this entire campaign, and he gave it to me. And he said, Shaq, I need you to just get on. You need to present, and you need to come across with this angle called Guru Funnels. Okay. And we launched the campaign, and we had around 300 people plus buy the first product, which was a $10,000 product. And that produced $10 million in cash, sorry, $3 million in cash. From those 300 people, a number of them, a high number of them went on to purchase my $40,000 to $50,000 coaching program. And around 20 of them went to purchase my $100,000 program. That campaign generated $12 million. And it's been, I'd say, one of my most profitable campaigns ever. I don't have the exact numbers, but I remember I think I put together something like 30,000 people through the funnel. And from those 30,000 people, a number of them obviously bought, applied to work with me, all of that. You know what's so crazy? That was a campaign that was like 5 years old. Till today, I still have that campaign running. Okay. Now I can't just give you what the link is, because these days, funnel hackers, everyone wants to funnel hack. So I can tell you right now, the funnel still works. It's still getting us qualified booked calls, qualified sales. It's still working. And that was an asset, digital asset that I created more than 5+ years ago. So I want you to think about something, right? When was the last time you did something and you've been getting paid for it almost every single day for 5 years? If you don't have that, and if you'd like my help, make sure you go hit funnels.com. Just type it in your phone or hit me up on Instagram. Make sure you follow me, and make sure you book a call, right? Because wherever you're at right now, remember, you're there because of a result of your best thinking, of your best actions, right? If you want to get new results, then you have to take new decisions, right? Something new has to come in your life, or something new has to come out of your life. And so if you'd like my help and my team, we can help you with funnels. Just go to funnels.com, book a free call, see how the process works, and I'm more than happy to help you. Joe, that was an excellent question. And with that, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks so much for all of you who have chimed in through Clubhouse, through the podcast, through YouTube, Facebook. I kind of went all out on this one. Thanks a lot, you guys. We're going to wrap it up, and I appreciate you all. Make sure you go to funnels.com, and we will catch up with you guys